Alright, we are into game 2 of the set. It is currently tied up 1-1. Navi did have a 1-game advantage coming from the winner's bracket, but M5 outplaying Navi in the previous game, taking an awesome win. They played excellently. So, once again, my name is Purge. I am here with Sheever. We are both Ghost Gamers casters. Go check out ghostgamers.net sometime. But in the meantime, game 2. Pretty excited. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think Moscow 5 is going to be able to burn out some more wins here from Navi?
I'm not sure. I'm kind of curious if Navi is again gonna ban out all those teamfight heroes now that they notice that M5 is also capable of winning without those. So if we're gonna see some more standard ban outs, maybe a Night Stalker, because that was a pretty good pickup from M5 previous game.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised Navi actually didn't ban that hero because he does work so well on M5's lineup. I mean, Vigos, one of the best Night Stalkers in the world right now. He definitely showed it last game. Their early game aggression was so strong, especially the early ganks they got out the bot lane. So I think if Navi can prevent them from doing something like that again, they're going to be sitting pretty well.
Yeah, it looks like no teamfight heroes bans, or at least not unless you want to call Venomancer teamfight hero, which he kind of is, I guess. But Venomancer ban out as a first ban. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
It happened about a month or two ago. It was kind of common to get rid of that Venomancer that early, but we do see Navi shift things. Look at that. They went from banning out those teamfight heroes to banning the tier 1 heroes. That's something we talked about during the last banning stage. And M5 doing a Venomancer plus a plus a Broodmother. So they're kind of doing opposite things. Maybe this is the way that Navi will react to what M5 is supposedly doing, which is looking like to ban the tier 2 heroes. Not saying that Broodmother is that terrible, but I would say definitely Venomancer is more of a tier 2 hero. So we still have a lot of good heroes in the pool. Invoker, Anti-Mage, could see a Lone Druid, could see a Night Stalker,
Darkseer,
and Leshrac. Tidehunter,
yes.
Windrunner. There's some good heroes in there.
You can go on, yeah.
There's some good heroes. So
that's a lot of good heroes, and I'm expecting F5 to maybe go for a heavy teamfight lineup once again. See if that works versus Navi, since they haven't tried that of course yet, but it worked great versus this afternoon. CLG.
Yeah, they could go Enigma.
Yeah.
They have played a lot of Enigma recently.
Yeah.
So here comes the last ban from M5. They're going to ban out a Chen, preventing Navi from using that hero. Despite them not winning the game, Chen is definitely still a hero to be feared. They did have some good ganks off, picking off the Anti-Mage a couple times, things like that. And who do you think Navi is going to ban? Do you think they're going to get rid of... I don't expect to see a first pick Anti-Mage. I think that would be unusual, but I think maybe an Invoker. I don't know if M5 plays Invoker is the question, though.
I don't know either, and that would be if they do play a solid Invoker and Navi knows that will be a ban out, but it will be a Leshrac instead. And M5 has been liking their Leshrac picks, so it's a good ban out. We'll probably see Invoker being picked up at least by M5 or otherwise by Navi, because he won't. I don't think he'll make it to the next ban phase. He'll be picked up.
Yeah, there's no way that he won't be drafted at some point. If M5 doesn't pick him up here, Navi will instead. So what are we looking at? We're looking at a possible Enchant, Enigma, Windrunner, Tidehunter, maybe Invoker, and they are going to play Invoker. So I don't think I've seen M5 play Invoker yet, if I'm remembering correctly. So I'm not sure who's going to play that hero. But yeah, I don't know who's going to cover it for him. But they do first pick the Invoker. This gives Navi 2 picks now. We'll see if they go Windrunner, Tide perhaps. They really don't play Tide that often, it seems like. And they could also go for a Darkseer. Puppy playing a very good Darkseer.
Yeah, they have still a lot of options, and Invoker on M5's team doesn't really give anything away either, because it's just one of those pickups that can do basically anything. So a lot of options still for Navi. Also still a lot of options for M5, depending on what Navi leaves them, of course.
They have a lot of time. They haven't used their bonus time yet, so plenty here before they end up drafting their heroes. But like we said, Enchant, I think, would be likely. Maybe I think Windrunner is almost expected at this point. Probably a Sand King as well. That's another hero that Navi plays very often. Plays a lot of Sand King. So, but they're going to have to be a little concerned about ganking Invoker. They could also do a Night Stalker. They could do the Night Stalker if they really wanted to. Havos plays a very strong Night Stalker. A little bit less of an early aggressive Night Stalker, but more of like a mid-game one. Usually spends even a little bit of time at nighttime farming up a little bit more, but still plays a strong game.
Yeah, I think actually M5 has their eyes on a Darkseer Enigma combination.
Wow.
But they won't be able to get it anymore because Darkseer is on V now. M5 might still get an Enigma, but with the vacuum or without the vacuum, that will be a little less effective.
And they do end up drafting the Anti-Mage surprisingly, so Anti-Mage will be their hard carry for the game. They're going to play the AM Picker game, showing M5 up perhaps. And Moscow 5 now gets 2 drafts. I'm expecting an Enigma as well as maybe something like a Beastmaster. The only downside is that would kind of cover a lot of their lanes, and there'd be a lot of target bans towards supports. Maybe they'll play Crystal Maiden. Maybe like a Crystal Maiden Enigma would be what they draft right now. I could see that. I think that would be very smart.
It would be a good setup, and at least it will give them their Enigma that PGG loves to play. And I would expect otherwise Enigma will be banned in the next banning phase unless Navi wants to pick him up, but I'm not sure if they're that big a fan of Enigma to play him.
Yeah, Dendi does play pretty good Enigma, but I'm not really sure if they will draft the hero or not. The AoE is there, and it's obviously good farming, and their team fight is good. And so they're going to want some kind of team fight at least. So, for example, if M5 doesn't maybe draft Tidehunter, I would probably expect to see Navi draft the hero. Because you can't just like get a Darkseer and not get AoE abilities on top of that. You have to. Unless you plan to do something super dirty like Anti-Mage ulti or something on a vacuum. That's always crazy, but... of which ones they're going to go for, I think Tide and Enigma are likely. But like you said, I don't think they play Enigma very often. Oh yeah, Puppy is very good at Enigma as well. I'm sorry, he's their primary jungler player, but Dendi does occasionally play Enigma.
Yeah, and it seems like M5 is not quite sure what to go for either. I mean, they're almost out of bonus time. They're gonna go for a Night Stalker once again. Still have only 3 seconds left, and there's a Crystal Maiden.
Wow.
So no Enigma, but a Night Stalker.
They do get Night Stalker again, and that's 2 heroes. I mean, that's basically 3 heroes on M5's team that are pretty good against Anti-Mage. Invoker has Cold Snap, Forged Spirits. Even if you go Sunstrike, you're doing pure damage that goes right through his spell shield. Night Stalker has Fear, has Slows, prevents him from blinking, and Crystal Maiden Frostbite is great against Anti-Mage. So right now, it looks a little scary for Navi. On the bright side, I guess they're going to have a Darkseer and some other AoE guy if they really want to. And they will go for an Enigma, so they're going to do a Darkseer plus an Enigma. I'm not sure who's going to play Enigma this time. I guess it's going to be Hovos, Anti-Mage, probably Dendi, I'm guessing, because I expect to see Puppy playing Darkseer, but it looks like it's probably going to be a solo Darkseer on the bot lane, perhaps, for Navi, so it could adjust which players play the hero.
Definitely, and such a strong combination also. I'm really favoring the lineup from Navi right now over M5.
Really?
It will really depend on what M5 is picking to go against that. I've seen the Darkseer and Enigma combination. I mean, you have to of course get that black hole out, but just that combination, if they get it out, and I think they should be able to, that will be so painful for M5.
Yeah, it would be for sure. We're going to see a Windrunner ban, and finally a Tide. Actually, Navi banned out the Tide. I guess they're a little worried about M5 going for that one. If they do take an early level advantage, Tide would be nasty against the heroes that they have. Anti-Mage, Enigma, Darkseer would have to worry about the easy disable of Enigma Black Hole, stuff like that. So I think if they had first pick, they would maybe let the Tide squeak through, but apparently not. They're going to go for, I guess, Darkseer Enigma combo. Maybe they're going to... No, I was thinking maybe like a Slar or something like that. But they do definitely need a support. Maybe they'll go Venge. Who knows?
They could still pick up a Sand King. I don't think they will, but they could.
It would give them reliable stuns at least. Could gank Invoker with that one. Magic Burst is good against him. But
yeah,
once
and
again,
even more team fight.
Yeah, more team fight.
If you have an Epicenter and a Vacuum and a Black Hole, that's yeah, it's even worse than just Enigma and Darkseer together.
And the final bans are going to be a Shadow Demon as well as a Lich. Surprisingly, Shadow Demon banned by M5. You would have thought maybe they would have drafted that because it's a strong hero counter against the Anti-Mage, but they just didn't bother, so... Interesting choice. That's a hero that M5 never plays, and they just apparently hate playing against. It does change a lot of their initiations, because if you can disrupt one of your allies, prevents you from, obviously, killing them in the short term, so it can make your ganks a lot more tricky. But interesting they don't play the hero, they just must not like it.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised that the Lich got banned out. I'm actually also quite surprised about a Vengeful Spirit pick, but I guess she's gonna be a carry. Semi-carry.
Why do you say that? It could just be a Crystal Maiden Venge support.
Yeah, but that's not... I don't know, that's just 2 squishy supports. If you're gonna get a Vengeful Spirit or you're gonna get a second support, they would have been better off with the Earthshaker.
I don't know if that's necessarily true. Wave of Terror does lower the armor of Anti-Mage. Command Aura boosts up your attack damage, so you don't have to worry as much about late game with Anti-Mage. And Stun Swap are just better for ganking. I think Earthshaker is a strong hero, and it would work effectively against Enigma, but Vengeful Spirit Swap is also very good at disabling Black Hole and stuff like that. So I think Venge is a little bit more useful, countering the Darkseer and the Enigma. I think they're better for that reason.
It could be, but I'm still expect. I mean, her abilities are more useful, but I don't think she could be. She would be. Well, as a second support, I don't know. I always compare it to Crystal Maiden and having like the same sort of support. I mean, of course, they're different with the stun and with Nova and stuff, but she's also squishy. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, Earthshaker is missing a lot of other strong things about him, though. Obviously, you can't really contribute any range damage or attack damage at all. You can usually get tops 2 hits in, so that's usually the problem. Is that yeah, generally Venge is going to be a little bit more effective, especially against an anti-mage and the Enigma and all that stuff. So we do have Navi actually down to 4 seconds, and they're going to draft a Shadow Shaman, a hero that hasn't seen much play recently. I think this is going to be a little tough. Probably we'll see a Night Stalker plus support against the Shadow Shaman. Might put him in a bad spot, I think.
Yeah, especially if it's going to be the Crystal Main, which it probably will be, if he's going to be having a support along with him.
Yeah, I think that's a decent analyzation. I think that's definitely what we might see. One more pick for each team. Radiant team looking for probably a long lane solo. Broodmother is gone. Puck perhaps. Windrunner is out of the pool. Might just see a dual lane. Could be like a, I don't know, Avenged Slardar or something. They're going to go for Death Prophet. So they're going to do a pushing semi-carry out of Death Prophet. Going to tank up a lot. Probably see SS play them again. And that was really effective last time we saw M5 do that lineup. I think that was against Dare. It worked out really nicely.
Yeah, double silence. That's going to be really annoying.
Yeah, it really is. Especially against Anti-Mage, actually. It's a nice counter against Anti-Mage. Pop the ulti, lots of physical damage, do the silence for up to 6 seconds. And I dare say, M5 looks like they outpicked Navi once again. Well, last game wasn't really an outpick. This game looks like an outpick to me.
I think it will all depend on... Jakiro. Huh. I was going to say, I think it all depends on the black holes and the vacuums. That's what it's going to come down to. And of course, if Antimate's going to get enough farm.
And they do have Vacuum Macropyre, which is scary. I mean, Jakiro does have a lot of AoE, so they could combo. I think they have some good AoE synergy, some really good AoE synergy. But can they hold off the pushes and the ganks? I don't know if that's going to be possible. They don't have a lot of early game disables. I mean, they've got Darkseer Vacuum and Dual Breath Jakiro, but it currently looks to me like M5 is really peaked up to take this game. If this, I don't know, it looks like a scary lineup from Navi. I think it can work, but it's a bunch of heroes that kind of interact in a weird way, in my opinion.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, together they'll probably be very good, but they really need to get that stuff together in order to get it perfectly. I mean, on themselves, they're nice, but they won't be able to match the lineup of M5.
Alright, so let's go over the players quick. We have SS playing Death Prophet again. We have Blood Angel and Invoker. Inmate playing Crystal Maiden. Please Go Game playing Vengeful Spirit, and Vigos playing the Night Stalker.
Yeah, and on Navi we have Danny in the middle on the Shadow Shaman, with Light of Heaven on the Darkseer towards the bottom lane, probably gonna solo that, with Vorst on the Anti-Mage, gonna probably be supported by Jakiro played by Arsart, and Puppy playing the Enigma. Surprise.
Yeah. For some reason I have a graphics error if you guys are curious why Enigma's skin is so dark. I don't know why, it just happens on my computer occasionally. Some games it happens, some games it doesn't, so before you guys get really confused about that one. I don't think they changed the animation, just something from me. And it looks like M5 is going for the tri-lane. They're going to do aggressive tri-lane top with a Night Stalker, Crystal Maiden, Venge. Luckily, when you do solo the top lane, you have the ability to pull from this camp as well, despite being on a solo lane, the solo hard lane. So they will have that. And it looks like, actually, Navi going to shift their lanes a little, but putting Dendi top and Enigma jungle, it's going to be Jakiro Anti-Mage mid. Interesting.
That's going to be very interesting if they're going to have two dual lanes in the middle.
Do they have wards? They don't have wards. Navi literally does not have wards. No wards are up on anybody. This is really weird. Puppy bought 5 Clarity Potions. I can't believe they don't have wards. There's going to be roaming from Crystal Maiden and Vengeful Spirit, and they're not going to be able to spot it. And might be, well, I guess it's not going to be Rasta mid at this point, but which will be a nice advantage. But Moscow 5 actually coming for an early gank here. I love their positioning. They're going to interact the creep wave. We'll see if there's any vision coming in from the Dire team. And here they go. And there we go. Oh, wow. I don't think they spotted him. I don't know if he did. I think Dendi did, actually. He's going to back up and be very, very careful for now. And in the meantime, Arzart's thinking about swarming towards the top lane, but I guess he's going to stay mid for a bit.
Yeah, and it looks like he is going to go for the top lane indeed. We're going to get some experience from the creep wave. Because, yeah, Blood Angel now solo versus an Anti-Mage on his Invoker.
I'm surprised we have Blood Angel. Our PG is actually playing support this game. He's going to be on the Vengeful Spirit. He's been playing a lot of semi-carry roles thus far this tournament, but Apparently SS is really good at Death Prophet. He has been playing it before, and Blood Angel is apparently their go-to Invoker player, so shifts their roles just a little bit here. Wow.
Yeah, Crystal Maiden joining the middle lane now, harassing Anti-Mage a little bit.
And very, very weird laning. Ars Arts is helping Puppey jungle, despite them having an Anti-Mage solo mid. Very, very weird laning from Navi this game. Dendy's actually going to think about going in here on Vigos. Puppey is coming. There's the Eidolon spawns. He's not quite level 2, unfortunately, so he will not have a stun, but there will be a dual breath on PGG, and this is going to give him the first blood. Who's going to get the last hit? Jakiro picks it up, so at the very least, Navi does start the game off with a little bit of EXP advantage. Havos actually trading with Blood Angel here. A little scary. There's the stun strike, and he is going to dodge it. Saw that one coming. Great play by Havos, but is it worth it to trade the mana? I guess it is kind of. If you can drain Invoker's mana, he doesn't have a whole lot of mana regen. It'll prevent him from doing as much in the mid game. So
it did cost him a salve though.
That's true.
And that's painful. He only has 1 tangos left.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
See how fast he can get up to a Ring of Health here.
Vigos
Vigos trying to hold off the top wave, and it's still taking a little bit of damage. Dendy now level 2, does pick up a Shackle. It's 1 tango. And they do have Liquid Fire up. This is one really, really nice pushing ability. Liquid Fire does reduce the attack speed of towers as well as heroes. It does good damage on them. So Xbox actually trying to get the kill on Blood Angel. He picks up a kill. What the hell happened down here? I can't believe it. He gets a solo kill on Invoker. PGG shows up, but still level 1. Can't throw the stun. I can't believe I missed that. I wish I didn't miss that.
I'm sorry, I missed it too.
Invisibility.
I was on the top lane. But very, very impressive. Quite surprised. He probably had to have burned all his mana and, you know, blinked after him. But I don't know.
I
You're
just
getting harassed a little bit.
I just can't believe that Anti-Mage killed an Invoker in the mid lane. That's like the most ridiculous thing ever. And Anti-Mage is going to get healed up by Arzard here. Going to trade with Blood Angel again. We'll see if he blinks in. Actually, we might see a dual breath, but that is insane. I'm so bad I missed that. Oh well. Anyways, last hit's continuing. There's now some dual lane situation going. Puppey is actually still top, level 3 now. He's got his Eidolons good to go. He might just actually dual lane this, I guess, which is pretty weird, but it will prevent Dendy from getting shut down easily by a support +1 if they have Puppey in position. Once he hits level 4, he will have a decent Malefice. They will have pretty good kill potential, especially if he has Eidolons up as well.
There was a lot of aggression from Light of Heaven here on the bottom lane where he dived and tried to kill off the creep wave before it reached the tower, but support came in from PGG and they were able to get the kill.
And Jakiro is going to buy some Observer Wards. He's going to swing the courier back to the base. Ring of Health is up on Anti-Mage, so he has some good regen in the meantime. And Blood Angel going for boots as well as the Mantle of Intelligence. Creep wave pushing out the bot a bit. Light Heaven is level 4. Might see the breath, and they are going on SS. There's the vacuum as well. We do. Oh, there's the Iron Shell. Finally, I was like, where's the Iron Shell? SS pops his magic wand. The Iron Shell might get the damage. It does pick off the kill. Nice gank by Navi on the bot lane, and they do get the kill. Actually, PGG going to be looking for a kill. Going to throw 1 stun. There's the Sunstrike jumping on A. Arzard, and he's not ready for that one. Dual Breath is going to actually get dodged by the Vengeful Spirit because, dude, haste and Dual Breath do not mix well.
No, Light of Heaven still on the chase. Might actually get a dive here from Vigos. Vacuum is there to save his life though. And Vengeful Spirit going down to the tower.
That was a huge vacuum from Darkseer.
Yeah.
That saved his life completely. There was 1 hit away right before the attack flew out, throws down the vacuum, snags the kill, stays alive, pops the salve. Nice advantage. Light Heaven's level 6 on the bot lane. And let's look at the EXP graph there. Dire team is slightly in favor, but not a huge amount. Dendy is going to get caught by Sunstrike though. A little bit of feedback for his own medicine so far at this tournament, dropping tons of Sunstrikes, and Puppey is going to back off. Hitting level 4 now, but in a solo lane. That's actually going to rotate, going to the top lane with Soul Ring on Death Prophet.
Yeah, and what a great Sunstrike. Perfectly placed. Of course, it's a bit easier when there was a Frostbite, but still, that Sunstrike just changing that around.
Yep, and that'll give him some boots next. In the meantime, we have a Blood Angel PGG on the mid lane, level 4 now on Vengeful Spirit. No level 2 Invoke yet, so he's still just sitting on Sunstrike. 225 pure damage is going to continue to be applied, but Vigos switching to the bot lane. And this is kind of a nice thing about dying, I guess, in some senses, that you can just change your lanes. Rather than TPing, I mean, you're going to spend the money on TP anyways, you might as well go back to a lane that's going to be favorable for you.
Yeah, and it's gonna be more unexpected also. Ooh, Death Prophet pops his ultimate, gonna get a Sunstrike also. Is chasing down a Jakiro who will fall down to the Death Prophet's ultimate. And the rest of Navi is backing out.
Navi
Unless
Puppy
there's
trying to
gonna be a
escape here.
stun.
PGG is going to
PGG is
throw
gonna have
stuns
a stun.
soon. Dendy taking some spirit damage, and the stun is going to get the kill. M5 coming in for the ganks. Puppy goes down as well. And M5 just playing absolutely excellently, believe it or not, is beating Navi in the meantime. 6-4. Lane setup's looking good. Vigas jumping after Light of Heaven. He's going to try to TP out. Here comes the Void, and that's going to be it for Light of Heaven. He's going to get picked off there. Night Stalker interrupting his TP with the mini stun from Void.
Yeah, and without any towers down and 3 kill difference, that's a 1500 gold difference already. In favor of M5, of course.
Now, on the bright side, might be TPing in on Blood Angel. We'll see if they go in. No, he's not going to do it. They do have an anti-mage late game, which in some ways is countered by both Death Prophet as well as having some of the late game situations like Invoker. So I don't know if anti-mage is going to be able to pull out the win from this game, because they are getting pretty far behind. Dendy once again being forced back out of EXP range. The lanes of M5 have just been really, really strong so far.
Yeah, invisibility rune on the Vengeful Spirit makes it possible for her to spot out 3 of Navi heroes in the jungle.
Definitely nice for that. Spouts them out. Inmate's going to back up. No boots quite up yet on her. Level 4, and SS actually also going to back up. Picks up an Arcane Boost and TPing the bot lane, so going to pressure the bot lane in the meantime. Havos actually shifting finally. Going to a different place. And anybody... Nope, there's actually nobody mid, but here comes M5 coming for the gank. Vigos is level 7. He does have his urn ready to go. Is going to jump in on Puppy as well as Arzart. They don't have any wards up, or they're apparently weren't paying attention, but they're jumping on Puppy. There's the Sunstrike. It's going to miss, but it doesn't even matter. One more hit and Puppy goes down. He does drop. Arzart taking the nuke. A little bit of zap on PGG, but Arzart gets picked off. And Vigos continuing to pursue, going after Dendy now. Dendy is taking the damage, getting blocked in, and great play from M5, shutting down Navi 10-4. They are losing this game. Did anybody see this coming? And now a dive on Light of Heaven. Light of Heaven in the trees. He's going to do a vacuum. Good positioning. Look at this. He's going to be able to actually almost squeak out 1 tree difference. And I guess they're just going to leave him.
I guess I assumed that he TP'd out, maybe. Yeah, but that smoke, I mean, we had Night Stalker smoke up together with Invoker. That really got him those kills. Got the advantage of not being spotted. And that's already a 4k advantage in 8 minutes. That's huge.
Wow. That's a huge gold advantage against Navi here. SS is going to back up. He's got Soul Ring plus his Ring of Health. Probably going to disassemble his Arcane later for Bloodstone, most likely. Soul Ring does provide him some nice regen in the meantime, though. And Vigos actually is ganking on Puppy. Puppy looking... Oh, he's on cooldown. There's the Sunstrike. Does the damage. Puppy gets picked off. Vigos goes... Grabs his 3rd kill. Killing spree for him. Oh my gosh. M5 is playing really excellent right now. 11-4. Taking out Navi thus far. Taking out the top tower. Mid tower may be pressured next. Dendy is still not level 6. And Arzart, the Jakiro pick, is not quite working out as effectively.
No, and the anti-mage pick is not quite working out either. He's only on 27 last hits, and that's just not enough to be able to keep up with the farm of SS and Blood Angel. I mean, they're at 42 and 54. That's such a huge difference. Even though Xbox is, Horst is highest farmed on his side, on Navi's side.
Well, Sunstrike does get split up, actually. They're going to drain all of his mana so fast here. There's the Malefice, and Vigos might end up getting picked off. They finally get a kill here. Vigos running into 4 heroes. Great reaction time as well from Dendy. He hexed immediately. He hexed before Night Stalker casted anything. And at that point, Anti-Mage came in, drained all of his mana. So finally, Navi gets a little bit of a gank. Anti-Mage is going to have his Vanguard on the way. Here comes the Stout Shield. And I love the Vanguard choice. If you're up against an early Night Stalker, I think this is absolutely required.
Yeah. Otherwise, she'll just drop too fast. And finally, Shadow Shaman has some boots.
I'm sure he's really happy about that one. He is also level 6, so...
Yeah, indeed. In the meantime, SS is pushing down this tier 1 top tower, bottom tower. I will just drop uncontested. Nobody of Navi is trying to do anything about it.
And M5 as well as the Invoker are roaming towards mid. We'll see if they have vision on the Jakiro. They do not currently, but they're thinking about it. They're actually going to shift back bottom. They see Light of Heaven, actually. It's going to be a pretty easy kill. If they get the Cold Snap, they don't have a swap, though, but here comes the stun. And here comes the vision. He pops the Surge, Sunstrike as well. The Silence, and he takes the damage. Way too much nuke potential. Light of Heaven does get picked off. Great gank once again by M5, and that puts Venge into swap range to a new realm of terror for Navi here.
definitely, and they should be feeling terror. In the meantime, Vigus is having a bit of trouble with the ward trap. He's gonna probably be picked off here. Shadow Shaman take the last hit. Still managed to do quite a bit of damage on the Shadow Shaman, who has no mana left, but they pick up another kill. And again on the Night Stalker. Second time.
Yeah, he took a lot of damage there. He's definitely gonna have to go back to base. He might as well run back. He's got a minute to wait for a rune anyway, so he's gonna get out of there. Ward trap was effective on the Night Stalker, picking him off twice now. That's always really tough when you do a nice early game Night Stalker and then you die like twice in a row. And all he has right now is an Urn Wand, so no treads are up, no phase. Isn't able to start his Vanguard quite yet, but at the very least, the Radiant team will be able to farm the wards. Gonna miss one. Oh my god, thank you. Last hit that. I was gonna say 26 free gold.
Gotta have. And it looks like they can push out this last tier 1 tower on the V side. At least nobody of Navi is coming to defend it. Even though, yeah, surprisingly.
And Death Prophet continuing to push here. Pressuring the bot lane a little bit. There's going to be one vacuum. Arzard is around, but there's the swap from PGG. There's the Ice Path, and it is going to disable, but Light of Heaven taking too much burst damage there. Sunstrike going to miss just barely on AA, but the spirits come through. Oh my gosh, almost doing enough. Barely runs back in time, and Puppey also does TP support, but getting there a little bit late, and in the meantime, PGG ends up surviving. He has one Tangle left to pop, and Arcane Boots used as well. Going to push out this wave and try to take the tier 2 tower immediately.
Yeah, and they'll probably be able to do so.
And damage comes from the spirits. Vigas is level 9, and Puppey coming in looking for the Malphus. He's actually going to spawn Eidolons, that's it. Doesn't want to initiate quite yet, and once again, another Death Pulse. Crypt Swarm, whatever.
Yeah, Antimage is happily free farming in the meantime. Is now on 51 last hit, so we managed to double that previous last hit quite fast. There's a 1500 gold one. What he's gonna go for next?
Probably treads. I think that's if he doesn't have them. Yeah, he doesn't even have treads yet, so that's gonna be important.
Oh yeah! Wow, I didn't even realize that. Lame.
I think Invoker is going to grab a Sheep Stick, though. He already has the Void Stone. He might go for a Eul's. That's a possibility, but considering he's not going EMP build, I don't think we'll see that, most likely. So.
No, it doesn't even have 1 point in Wax yet, so Deafening Blast is out of the question so far. We'll probably pick it up later, but for now he's just maxing out his X-Word to keep landing those Sunstrikes as he has been doing.
And the game is getting more and more in M5's favor. If you look at the gold graph, we're up to a 5k advantage. This is kind of similar to what it looked like last game, where there's definitely a point where Navi was in a weird spot. Arzard is level 6 now. He's not necessarily as reliable of a support as someone playing like a Crystal Maiden or Revenge, so he's definitely kind of in unknown territory here, playing the Jakiro support. Goes for 3 Dual Breaths, 2 Ice Paths, and 1 Liquid Fire. So wants as much AoE disable as possible here. Couple pings on Dendi momentarily. He still doesn't have Arcane Boots, but he can spend some time in the jungle at least with the bottle, and Havost actually has treads picked up finally. So there's that.
Yeah, I have to say, I'm quite impressed by the Death Prophet being played by SS here. He has the highest farm on the map. It was at 500 gold per minute earlier, while the highest one behind that is just like 360, so it was a huge difference there. And he's been doing pretty solidly the whole game already. Don't think he's died yet. Oh, he died once. Okay. Crystal Maiden didn't die at all yet. That's quite surprising.
They're going to find Havost, though, looking for the silence. He's trying to juke them as long as possible. He's level 10 currently, only 1 spell shield, but max level blink. He's trying to keep them here as long as possible until his allies can show up. Dendi's actually in a corner here. He's going to drop the wards immediately, takes a couple hits, and immediately gets picked off. Does get the ward trap off, though. And PGG is going to end up surviving. A little bit of ward damage coming through. Puppey thinking about hopping in. Havost also just going to blink out. Smart choice, especially with the Forged Spirits up. The minus armor it applies is too strong, and they might actually teamfight this. Here comes the vacuum. Soul Ring is off of cooldown. Might be able to actually catch a black hole. There's the Surge used on Light of Heaven, jumping in on the Vengeful Spirit. There's the Iron Shell Dual Breath, and he's going to die immediately. No, he swaps in. Havost trying to get the last hit. There's the vacuum coming through. No black hole quite yet from Puppey. But they are going to drop a great stun on SS, and there's the ulti on Crystal Maiden. He ends up going down. Havost dies, and M5 able to win the team fight here, forcing back 2 heroes, taking 2 kills, and maybe even taking the tower on top.
Yeah, and it looks like Enigma's in a little bit of trouble still too, together with Jakiro. There's still a little bit of damage done by SS, but that ulti, I mean, that exorcism basically forced Enigma back. Otherwise, he would have been able to land the perfect black hole because everybody on the M5 seemed pretty stacked. But he just took too much damage and couldn't go in.
Yeah, it really is the case. I mean, the damage that Death Prophet puts out in the mid game, early to mid game like this, is just too strong. She's got the Vanguard up with the Soul Ring. Her HP regen is strong. The physical damage she outputs from Exorcism is great, and she picks up a mech. How farmed is she? Her GPM must be ridiculous right now. 513.
Yeah,
that is a lot of gold per minute on Death Prophet. One of the best farmers in the early game for sure. Similar to kind of what Pugna can do in a lot of ways. And there's her last hits, if you guys are curious. 103 at 16 minutes. A very, very strong last hitting. Arzard's trying to slow this down a little bit. He does have a level 2 dual breath. But there's a haste up on Night Stalker. Could make it nighttime if he wants to. He's going to find Eidolons in the jungle, though. So they are going to know not to go in there now. And PGG actually using a smoke, so no invisibility here. And there's one ward on the high ground. One sentry actually placed.
Yeah, it's gonna matter a lot when Enigma gets 200 more gold when he finishes Mechanism.
Ooh, Inmate might go in on Puppy. There's the Frostbite. Can eat a Malefice, though. This looks a little bad for Inmate, actually. There's the dual breath. Not going to be able to get the kill, though. They're going to back up. Still, though, Hood up on Dark Series. So close to it, but so very far away. Especially at this point when you're at a gold disadvantage. 16-7.
Yeah, that's big. And there we have Exorcism once again. Only 102nd cooldown. The tower is going to drop pretty fast here, too, from that.
Will take some damage, looking for the swap on PGG. Here he comes in. Not going to be able to get it. Takes a couple tower hits. It's going to hurt him a little bit here. Mid tower does get glyphed up. And where's the duration on Exorcist? It does not show. So
Nope.
Probably has about 20 seconds left, I'm guessing. Maybe 15 seconds. I hear a stun from somewhere. Nothing. Still have not counter-warded the ward in the jungle. But they did place a sentry there first. So we'll see if they get to that in a second. Just trying to defend their lanes in the meantime. Anti-Mage is on the bottom. He still has nothing new. Just Magic Wand picked up, so.
Yeah, and only 800 gold, so he's really not farming all that fast. And he really needs to, because they're losing fast. They're losing towers too fast. They're getting their gold advantages, or disadvantage for Navi is just, it's a lot to get back from.
Yeah.
He's gonna actually get attacked by Vigos a little bit, who's probably gonna back off. He doesn't have any mana anymore.
Looking for the disable. There's the Malefice. Going to start things off. Night Stalker's going to run away, though. That's actually a nice little bait out there. That causes him to lose 20 seconds of nighttime. So he won't be able to use this offensively now, since he was worried about dying. That might actually turn into a kill. PGG immediately mid. Looking for swaps. Not going to find it. Treads plus a Bracer, and there's a Wave of Terror. And the rest of Moscow 5. Squeezing up the mid lane a little bit. A couple illusions in the jungle. And SS actually can do some counter pushing here. Great choice. He's going to have his ulti in 2 seconds. There's the vacuum. Doing a little bit of damage, but really not that much. And we're going to see him ulti probably at the next creep wave in here. Try to take the tower in the meantime while his teammates are other places.
And that tower's dropping so fast. He's actually not using his exorcism. Doesn't really need it to get this tower. There's no defensing coming from Navi, so they can just take this tower without the ulti and still have the ulti up for a next team fight that might be happening pretty soon. Because I'm expecting Navi to try to bait out a team fight, or at least a black hole. Don't think we've seen one at all yet.
Anti-Mage does take the tower on the last hit on the tower on the bot lane. Doesn't get denied, so there's that at least. And he's going to blink on out of there. So at least a little bit of gold going back into Navi's favor. But we'll see that reflected pretty shortly. But it's going to be a smoke gank now. This is a dire sentry, so they did not spot this out. We'll see if they can hop on one of these guys. SS is going to be here. Picks up an ultimate orb, so survivability is pretty good. And here comes the Malefice goes down an Inmate, so they're going to pick off the easy guaranteed last hit. And here comes a Shackle, perhaps. This actually be a Hex from Dendi. A couple more hits here, and no Force Staff for him to escape. So they do get one kill at least out of the smoke. But we did see SS escape.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised it took so long for them to kill Crystal Maiden. But she has 2 bracers, so that's probably her excuse.
Yeah, and she's probably at a nice EXP advantage over them as well, but...
Oh, yeah, she's level 9. Same level as Enigma. Higher than the Jakiro.
And Havos does shift back mid. SS in position, gonna be looking for the Malefice, not gonna get it off though. And more Soul Ring nukes. I mean, the Soul Ring's such a cool item pick up there. There's the Vacuum, looking for the Wall of Replica, but nothing quite yet. There's the Force Staff Ori. He pops his ulti, so now Navi just has to back up at this point. They're waiting for the Exorcism. Could still see a swap. There's a swap on Venge. Silence on Puppy now. There's the one nuke. He gets disabled. Great plays from Arzard. Prevents the initiation on Puppy to take any damage here. And the Wall of Replica is up, doing a little bit of damage, trying to slow things down. But the mana is a little bit low in Enigma. And mid tower is going to try to get to 9. Nothing there. trying to catch a couple of heroes. SS going to initiate on Arzard, and Navi is going to back up from this one, I think. They got one hero kill at least. I think that's more than they
Vengeful
expected.
Spirit. But she bought back immediately, TP'd back, and is now back for the fight. And I think she just wants to be there just in case there's going to be a black hole, so she's able to swap out that Enigma.
It's a really smart play for sure. But they're actually going to back off, so I think they're expecting more action to happen there than actually expected. Yeah. Roshan is up, so they could take that in the meantime. All of the Dire heroes are up. But are they going to realize or react? They're paying to defend the bot tower, so I think they're expecting more aggression to come from the Radiant team, but they're doing the smart thing. Just going to take out the Roshan pretty quickly here using the amp damage.
Yeah, Vorst had a chance to scout them out. I think he might have heard them. He actually has his Yasha completed now, so that's a step into the right direction for him. Yeah, he just scout them out.
Uvos jumps in, does have his Yasha up. There's also going to be an Iron Shell. Pretty good start, but a great silence from Death Prophet. They'll probably fight as soon as this ends. And here comes Light of Heaven looking for the vacuum. There's the vacuum. There's the wall. No wall, but the black hole catches 4. That's exactly what Navi was looking for. They get everybody in the black hole. Looks like, oh my gosh, even the Night Stalker goes down 5-0. The power of Darkseid, they're trying to block him in here, but he's going to make it out. There's the Shackle, a couple more physical attacks, and that is going to be 5 heroes going down. Navi picks it up. Vacuum black hole all day. Wins team fights.
That is exactly what their build was made for. And they executed it perfectly. And Roshan is the perfect spot to do it to because everybody is so clumped up.
Chat is going crazy right now, man. Oh my gosh. Great black hole. You know Navi was just smiling that whole team fight. Unfortunately for M5 though, super grouped up. They're up against an AoE team lineup, and that's like the worst possible time for that to happen. I mean, they killed the Aegis. They're going to find Havos though. Havos being a little aggressive, trying to take the mid tower. He's going to pop the mech, looking for the deny. Enigma does get the last hit. Nice play, and Anti-Mage blinks on out. Actually, might still go aggressive. He is going to do some damage. Looking for the block. Eidolon's blocking in. Eidolon's blocking in. Puppy making the plays. Good swap from Vengeful Spirit at least. But Inmate looks like he's going to go down. Ulti in 2 seconds is going to get the last hit. Now running away. Desi, 1 stun, 1 silence as well. Looks bad for Anti-Mage actually. Is disabled for a little bit more. We'll have a blink up. Oh, Crippling Fear is next. Cold Snap keeps him up, and Puppy is going to die. So Puppy will be the one to get picked off. But the rest of the Navi backs off. And look how close the kill score is now due to that team fight. Wow.
That's only one team fight, yeah. And if they're gonna have that again, they're gonna have a huge advantage. They've managed to take down a tier 1 tower now. Next time they'll probably take a tier 2 and maybe even tier 3 along with that, as the death timers will be longer. Yeah, that's just amazing play. That's definitely what their lineup is made for. And the Aether Shock from Shadow Shaman doing also so much damage then, not to be underestimated.
Yeah, if you can hit multiple heroes with that, especially like 4 or 5 heroes with your Aether Shock, you're doing 320 damage AoE. That's excellent. But M5 immediately pushing up the mid. We're going to see an ulti from Death Prophet jumping on Dendi. Dendi a little out of position here. This looks really bad. Andy's got a blink there. He gets picked off. Dendi completely out of position there, messing up their defense here. 40-second cooldown on his death. That was a giant positioning error by Dendi, unfortunately. Night Stalker did jump forward, put the swap. Oh, we're going to see swap on Puppy now. Might see Mord go down. There's some more nukes. There's the Meteor, and Puppy is also going to go down. Navi sitting way too far forward here. Light of Heaven looking for the vacuum, but we'll see if he gets it on anybody. Oh, catches 2 heroes actually. There's the Macro Pyre as well, doing some good damage. Eventual Spirit does go down. Anti-Mage still in the mix here, and Tower's actually going to survive. I can't believe it. I thought for sure they lost to Rax as soon as they lost those 2 port heroes. Look at the pings like crazy, trying to catch Inmate. There's one more Frostbite, and Devos does have his Manta style up. They're coming for this gank. He does 7-second cooldown on the TP, and there we go. He picks up the kill. That's 3 heroes dead for the Radiant team. Moscow 5. So great vacuum. Wall of Replica doing some nice job, as well as the Macro Pyre catching a ton of AoE damage in a very enclosed space.
Yeah, perfectly positioned from Jakiro. I am indeed surprised that the tower is still standing, so it's basically a 2-for-3 kill trade without a tower, and I think M5 really was counting on that tower going down, because not really worth it otherwise.
And Navi is on the Ancients, grabbing some EXP. There's going to be smoke actually up on Anti-Mage. We'll see if he shifts all the way down. He might jump on SS. SS is low mana, but he can't do the solo. He's going to need people to come in. Coming in for the block. Great plays by Avos. He's starting things off, doing the mana drain. I think he got there a little early, though. I think that was a mistake. Unless he was going to do, like, super epic blocks for 20 seconds. That was not worth it.
Nope. A little bit impatient in jumping the gun there.
Now, there is a Dire Ward up in the jungle, so they do see that PGG is roaming there. They're going to come around, lead him off. Enigma Illusion starting things off. There's a Wave of Terror. Does bait out the stun at least, so a little bit of mana gone from bench. Here comes the second one. Puppey as well. There's the first Malefice. Dire Team will be showing up. In the meantime, Blighthaven getting caught by Invoker. And there's the War Trap on Inmate. This battle is everywhere, man. There's the Dual Breath. PGG in a lot of trouble. A couple more physical attacks. And that's 2 heroes dead now for the Radiant Team. Dandy actually trapped in by his own wards. There's the Vacuum clearing him out from the trees. Nice play. And he's going to make it out. We'll have a Blink Dagger as well. And Navi winning, getting a couple more kills on M5. And M5 is really losing their advantage.
Yeah, definitely. There's now a 4k difference in gold. Still in favor of M5. But, oh, never mind. That last teamfight dropped it back to 3k. It's dropping pretty fast. And in the meantime, Entomate is still farming. He is getting some good items, having his Manta style complete, having 1500 gold in the bank, and still only died once and has 8 kills, sorry.
Yeah, he's sitting at 8, 1, and 6. That's really, really effective. Helps to get that many kills while you're the hard carry. He is going to have his next items underway. I don't know if he's going to go for a Butterfly, maybe a BKB actually. Gets Invoker. BKB is, I dare say, a must-have, but it's not over yet by any means. M5 can still take a Rax. All we need is one bad team fight or one bad pick-off on Navi, and M5 can take the Rax. They were so close so many times there. Mid tower is pretty much almost undefended, and all it's going to take is M5 bringing the heat, getting the kills off.
They got a smoke up, waiting behind SS, trying to bait them. So far, not really working. They have a ward there, so.
And Invoker does have his Aghanim Scepter up, 2 levels of Wex as well, so he's going for EMP Tornado, surprisingly. There's the Tornado, going to start things off, going to drain some mana from Puppey, a little out of position. Actually, he's going to avoid it. And Light of Heaven getting initiated on. He's going to get Hex, SS getting the mana drain. Whoa, the ulti from Obo's doing so much. BKB, oh my gosh, the Black Hole picking off the Vengeful Spirit. And now chasing after Vigos. Vigos' mana taking some damage as well. There's the Ward Trap, not going to catch anybody though. Dandy is going to get a Hex or a Shackle off an Inmate. That's an easy kill there for Hobos, and 3 more heroes once again going down. That Anti-Mage ulti is exactly what they need to stop Crobolus. Drain her mana all the way. She has a huge mana pool. Pop the ulti and murder her from 70% HP. Makes such a big difference if you can just kill her like that.
Yeah, and that Anti-Mage also was the one that got actually all 3 kills that were just done.
Wow.
That's gonna make a huge difference. He got the triple kill. He's still trying to chase down Vigos a little bit. Is settling for the tower though.
He's just pushing, that's all. He wasn't chasing.
Not at all.
Gonna force them back a little bit. Manta Style is ready to go again, but Navi is coming through. Puppey pushing as well. Arzard also here stacking up lots of HP. This is such a tanky support. Jakiro has a great strength gain compared to most. And the mech is popped once again. Bot tower is going to go down, so 2 more towers remaining for M5. And Navi has got to be close to the 0 mark. There they are. Fast, quick, very quickly approaching the 0 mark. Roshan is still dead, but I expect to see maybe 1 more team fight before Navi tries to take that, and they are definitely getting their advantage back.
Yeah, and I don't think M5 wants to be as greedy with the Roshan as they were previous game, because what happened last time, they really don't want that again, and that's just so much chance in there with the Roshan pit being everybody clumped up. I have to say though, Arsard is really positioning his Macropyre just superb.
Really? Yeah, I haven't been able to catch them yet. Looking at other stuff. They've been doing vacuums and stuff on top of them, or?
No, it's just he's just been getting into position all the time, making sure he's get the max out of it, and getting his ice path followed up by a Macropyre, and just getting so much damage done, so that Anti-Mage can just jump in and kill them all off.
That's awesome. Death Prophet's going to pick up a Scythe of Ice, so they will have that disabled at least against the Anti-Mage, of course, despite their silences not being nearly enough. And yeah, of course, Invoker decided to go Aghanim Scepter plus the Force Staff, so he does not yet have a Sheepstick of his own. So once again, M5 pushing up the mid. They know that as this game goes on, things are just going to look bad for them. So we might see Glyph mid. Tower is going to take a little bit of damage there. There's the amp damage on the Forge Spirit. They do deny it. Nice play by Enigma, and that's actually Alacrity. Sorry, Alacrity on the Forge Spirit. Do a little bit of range tower damage as well, and they're just going to sit back. Oh, I love Hobos' positioning. He picks up the Vitality Booster, probably going for a Heart next. Oh, he's going to run an Inmate though. There's the Observer Ward on the high ground, does spot out Hobos, and all of a sudden M5 starting to move around, trying to figure out what they want to do. Are they going to get sandwiched here? It's a real question. I love their play. Putting the Alacrity on the Forge Spirits, just continuing to hit it from range. They don't want to initiate here, but look at the damage. It's actually doing pretty good damage here. And nice.
Yeah, Barracks already down half. Of course, the range Barracks have less armor, but then still.
Anti-Mage initiates. SS in some trouble. There's the vacuum come for the Black Hole. They don't even need a Black Hole. Oh my god. Black Hole on cooldown. The AoE is ridiculous here with the Jakiro plus the vacuum. That was ridiculous. Blinking forward, looking for the disable. Needs another soaring. There's the Malefice, and Vigos in a lot of trouble. It has become daytime as well, and he's going to get completely blocked in here. No chance of him surviving. That is another team fight wipe for M5, and I dare say we're going to see a GG very soon here as Navi pushes up the mid and takes a Rex. Or takes the Aegis. Either one. It's going to be probably a Rex.
Well, it's going to be at least a tier 2 tower, and it's well, it's going to be 20 seconds without the Invoker, who is probably the most counter-pushy of the ones that are back up, but at least the Vengeful Spirit and Crystal Maiden are there. Don't think they're going to be able to do all that much, though.
I think what M5 really needed this game was Black King bars. If you can stop the vacuum, it changes so much. Stop the vacuum, keep everybody outside of it, and
it doesn't look like anybody is building that right now.
Night Stalker has been a little bit behind. I mean, it's definitely his next item progression, but he just hasn't been able to get there. And they have Avenge Crystal Maiden, which obviously won't grab BKBs, but Invoker usually has more important items, and Death Prophet generally just focuses on more tanks. She tried to grab the Scythe of Vice to make sure that they could disable the Anti-Mage, but instead what's happening is they're just getting vacuumed and Twin-Headed Dragon owned. Like, Dual Breath, Macropyre, even the Midnight Pulse doing a lot of AoE damage.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised that a Black Hole didn't go down. It was the perfect opportunity for the Black Hole, but Poppy just thought, well, that's not needed. They'll die anyway.
He was on cooldown. He had like, it was really close. It was like 5-second cooldown or something like that. But it was amazing.
He was really confident with not putting it down and knowing that M5 would go down regardless. But okay.
Ooh, gonna be see a blink away from Puppy. Did get vision on the Vengeful Spirit.
I think so.
And Hovo's still farming. So this is the nastiest thing about the constant pushing that's coming out of M5. They don't even have to worry about not having anti-mage there. He can always TP back if he needs to. And he's just about to finish his heart. Very close. Still needs a couple more 100 gold, but Dire Team, does he have a gem or something? He keeps killing gems, I think. Or wards. I don't see a gem. Might see initiation though. Dendi going in. Is going to put a hex down. Great ward trap going on SS. Jumping on her. There's a disable on Blood Angel as well. The vacuum. There's the Macropyre doing some nice damage. Pipe is also popped on the Dire Team, which they have SS staying in the Macropyre a little bit. And looking for the ulti from the Anti-Mage. He's just about ready to go. Gonna save it. Yes, 1,000 damage being done. Tornado now on Blood Angel. Great force staff up to the high ground. That was excellent. Great play. Anti-Mage continuing to pursue this. Looking for the Mana Drain. Puppy needs to get a Malefice off, and they're actually just gonna back up, I guess. They could just take the Aegis. There's still only 2 heroes dead. They only lost Death Prophet and the Crystal Maiden. Would not be looking really good.
They could also take the tier 3 tower.
That's true. Take the tower. I think they could maybe take tower and Rex, perhaps.
Yeah, and Jakiro indeed has a Gem of True Sight, by the way.
Jakiro does?
Earlier.
Okay,
yeah.
He does have it. Okay. Tower taking a bunch of damage now. Putting the nukes through.
Nobody of M5 really able to defend it so far.
It's a little bit.
Melee Barracks looking to go down.
There will be a little bit of Wave of Terror. Melee Barracks drops. Ranged Barracks might be next. Anti-Mage is going to sit here. He's got his finger on the mantle button, and he's going to fail it. Doesn't care. He's like, ah, whatever, I'll eat your stun. Going to take out the Ranged Barracks. The first Barracks ends up following. It's going to be in Navi's favor, something that we didn't see happening 20 minutes ago, that's for sure.
Definitely. And that's that team fight ability that they have is just... M5 just doesn't have that. They have, of course, they have Invoker, which is semi-team fight hero, but a Vacuum, a Macropyre, a Black Hole. That's just all Navi needs to make every fight go towards their lane now.
Yeah, it's the amount of AoE that they have at this point is really strong. Navi's going to take out the Aegis though. Going to bring an item in. It's going to be Puppy brings up Drum of Endurance. Blink Dagger? No, he said Blink Dagger. Well, not quite sure, but Havost is here. 6k gold up for him. We'll see if he goes for Butterfly, actually. He might just grab a Butterfly instead of the mech, or the pipe. Hood. No, damn it, Heart. Heart, that's what I'm trying to say.
I knew what you meant, though.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Alright.
I bet the viewers did, too.
Roshan goes down. They pick up the Aegis immediately afterwards, so Havost will continue to be aggressive. They might actually catch SS in the jungle here. Puppy is going to spawn some Eidolons. Tornado will land, though, so it's going to prevent them from initiating, but that was really close. If they would have done a blink initiation, stunned one of these guys, they could have been put in a really bad spot.
Yeah, they have a lot of blinks on their team actually, with of course the Anti-Mage being able to blink regardless, and Shadow Shaman blinking, and Enigma too. That's some good initiation there, and they can just take the team fight wherever they want to.
Yeah, Shadow Shaman does pick up a Ghost Scepter, great pickup here. Gives him some very nice survivability against if Night Stalker dives, even against Death Prophet, the Ghost should not be able to hit him then. And Havost being so aggressive, he's got something on the way. And it is going to be a heart, so his heart is on the way. There's the Reaver, plus the recipe. Now, the reason that this is an okay build is because the Radiant team doesn't have that much physical damage. If there was a hard carry that had a chance of doing enough damage to him, it would be more of a problem. PGG actually in a little bit of trouble. It's going to see a silence, tornado as well, EMP. Both's going to back up just fine, though. Does not want to get his mana drained, actually. EMP is pretty dangerous at this point when your mana is this low. And is he going to split push, or is he just... They're just playing it safe, I guess.
They're just playing it safe. Or they want... I'm expecting them to want to bait the team fight outside the tower range.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely possible. Especially because all their heroes are up on the high ground. They're going to wait till they initiate on Havos. He's got Aegis anyway, so if he dies, it doesn't matter a whole lot.
Yeah, in the meantime, Vegas is pushing the top lane. He does have a TP back, so he will be able to be here just as soon as something happens.
It is daytime, though, so he's going to have to use his ulti to jump in. There's the Ice Wall, great Ice Wall, actually. Havos did use his Manta style, but the Illusion's very slowly walking here. Man, that ability is so good. Ice Wall is such a good skill.
Yeah, did use his Manta style to avoid the stun from PGG, and was really really effective. Would have been the initiation for M5 otherwise.
And it looks like Navi's actually going to back off. Light of Heaven very close to his Aghanim Scepter. Probably will pick that up since he has the point booster. And there's only so much pushing you can do, basically. There's a point where you can say, okay, we'll pressure them out, and we'll go back to farming jungles. And they'll do that. So they're going to take all of the jungle farm, or at least these 3 camps. Will give Navi a little bit more gold advantage, while the Radiant team takes the mid lane, which doesn't have a whole lot of gold or EXP since it is super creeps. And other than that, that's pretty much 2 people farming. They have 1 mid camp and Vigos in the jungle. Then he's going to find him, actually. Here's going to be the Shackle. We'll see if he ward traps. Might try to do it. And there's the Hex first. Might ward. I don't know if he's going to ward trap. He does ward trap in, getting the kill on Vigos. He phases out, though. Lives with 5 HP there and gets picked off. So Navi takes the kill. And Vigos' aggressive jungling is not going to pay off. Dendi happened to walk right past him and spends all of his mana but gets the kill.
Yeah, that's the most important thing. And you talked about a goal advantage earlier, and I just managed to look at a gold graph for a second. And as far as M5 was ahead previous time, that is as far as Navi is now ahead. Even more so. There's almost 10k difference.
It's pretty severe for sure. And there's the Blinken going on an inmate. He does have a DD. It's going to get Frostbite, actually. Puppey being a little aggressive. There's absolutely nobody here. Was this worth it at all? There's a swap, actually. Stun as well. Tornado's going to put him in the air. He's got a blink in 3 seconds, but as a cold snap, he black holes. Light of Heaven shows up, but this is looking sloppy. Puppey does get picked off. There's a TP out by Light of Heaven, actually. Arzart, he does get disabled. Macropyre doing some good damage. Light of Heaven wants to kill, but not going to be able to get him. They get Venge at least. Mech a little bit late on SS, unfortunately, so they lose PGG for nothing there. I don't know what Puppey was doing. That was a huge waste. And he wasted his black hole as well.
And I feel like M5 should be pushing right now, because a chance like this, they might not have that again, with no black hole and no dark seer for 50 seconds. But it doesn't look like they will. They don't really have the opportunity. All lanes are pushed out towards them, so well.
You can see the tornado top at least. Pushing out the lane a bit. Anti-Mage backs up. Heart is up, and Izzy on his way. He's already at 5k gold. Already at 5k gold. He's going to have a Butterfly next, most likely. Not sure what he's going to drop at this point. Maybe a TP scroll. But that's going to kind of put him in a spot, weird spot. Won't be able to do as much aggressive. And Nice Arc actually goes for the Skull Basher. Just completely skipping his BKB. Wants to go for the disables. If they can catch somebody out of position, they will have that advantage. Maybe getting some random chance.
Yeah, those kills just now on Enigma and Darkseer were actually the first kills of M5 for since 15 minutes. It's a really long time for them to go without any kills. Or a solid amount of farm.
Anti-Mage is top though. It's up to 5k gold. And Dendi is close to Aghanim, still a bit of ways though. It doesn't have his Blade of Alacrity, so 800 away for his Aghanim Scepter. Puppey is back up, 95 seconds cooldown on his Black Hole that hit nothing. So that kind of puts Navi into a weird spot. It's going to buy them more time, I guess. Buy his M5 more time at least. We'll see this game go a little bit longer. And actually going to see a Blade Mail up in Death Prophet. I like this choice. He could actually, using this Blade Mail, do tons of reflect damage to Anti-Mage. Possibly get a kill there. The damage that Death Prophet takes from an ulti, if it does 1,000 damage, all of a sudden Anti-Mage takes 1,000 pure damage.
Yeah, that's gonna be very painful if indeed it's used at the right time, and if he then attacks, of course. Doesn't last for that long.
All right, Centaur's gonna go down, and Arzard on the bot lane actually has an Aghanim Scepter up. It's actually very good on Jakiro. It increases the range distance and the number of flame strikes. So that probably means that it attacks more often, or maybe it stays longer, I'm not sure. But It allows him to get the macro power out faster, has a longer range, does a little bit more damage. Very good stuff. Very weird to see him actually have that item completed, though. Seriously.
He has so much farm, though. Or at least, he got quite... He has 19 assists and 5 kills. It's really not a bad job for Jakiro.
And yes, guys, Blade Mail is pure damage, by the way. The reflected damage that it does is pure. So... alright, Puppy on the high ground, looking for a blink. 10-second cooldown on Black Hole.
Probably gonna wait for that and then go afterwards. Every cooldown being up.
Playing safe at the moment. He's got 1600 gold. Might slow down the push top. I think he's gonna spawn Eidolons here and then come back mid.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised that they are mid. I mean, the barracks are down there already.
Oh,
why would they go mid?
He did it. He's got a Divine Rapier.
Oh, God. And an Aegis.
I've never seen a Rapier yet in Dota 2, at least for the updated graphics, but I can't believe they're doing this. I guess, if hypothetically speaking, if the Radiant team gets a Rapier, it's not over because they don't have any major DPS carriers that do physical damage other than Night Stalker. But this is scary as hell.
and he's showing it off right now.
Yeah, he's like, hey guys, look at my Rapier.
Yeah.
Here, cast your spells on me. Oh, Puppy goes in, does the Malefice on Vigas, though. Thinking about it, there's the damage being done. Looking for the vacuum from Darkseer, not quite ready. The Macro Pyre is huge. And a silence now on Evost as well as a disable, but he's going to be regen up in a second. PGG a little bit far forward, now the tower's taking damage. Macro Pyre cooldown 60 seconds, so they're wasting their abilities just a little bit here. And there's the Iron Shell, Deafening Blast as well as the Chaos Meteor. And waiting to try to kill the tower. He's going to blink out, actually. Stays a little bit too long. And there's the vacuum. A little bit of disable follow-up. Another Tornado is casted. Puts Dendi in there this time. But Evo's going to blink out again. Still not ready to jump in. Black Hole's ready. There's the swap. They're going to initiate PGG. Wow, that was not worth it. Swaps in. Immediately kills Vengeful Spirit. Now going after Blood Angel. The hits are huge from Evost. But there's the Midnight Pulse on SS. Looking for the Ward Trap. Not going to get it. There's the Shackle though. He pops the Blade Mail. The damage being reflected is pretty huge here. But Evost is going to survive. He's got about 400 HP left. 800 HP left. And a couple hits on Inmate. Drops him down. He blinks forward. Trying to pick off Blood Angel. They still have the gem up. So a couple more hits. And they get the kill. PGG calls good game. And Navi's going to take the win with a Divine Rapier. Pulling the game out with their awesome team fights despite being very far behind. So we are going to go on to the next game. This is going to be a 2-for-1 advantage for Navi. If Navi wins the next game, it is over. They take the 6K prize pool in US dollars, and Moscow 5 goes home with second. Still very respectable considering how far they've made in this tournament. So, wow.
I can't believe he brought a Rapier.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they would have won it without it also, but that Rapier, really. And he didn't use his Aegis, I guess. Yeah, good game, indeed.
Yeah, very well played by Navi there. So we'll be moving on to the next game, guys. Stay tuned in just a bit. We'll be back for game number 3, I guess. Yeah, it'll be game number 3 with a 2-3 series for Navi and M5. Thanks for watching, guys.